How can nature help us build healthy, vibrant businesses? That's what I wanted to talk to you about in this video. And I'm going to share with you some 5 shifts that are going to help you think about your business in a different way and approach your entire setup from a different perspective. And then 5 principles that you can apply day to day in your business to help it thrive. The first is collaboration. Nature shows us that life is about collaboration and cooperation. It's about coexisting, not just alongside each other, but actually integrating and supporting each other. That's one of the most important lessons that we can learn from nature. Our business models that we've known for so long are exploitative and competitive, not collaborative. And that's led to a lot of structures and processes and systems and thinking that pushes us into a competitive focus where we are constantly trying to get above our competition. But nature shows us that a whole is only healthy when all the parts are healthy. So we have to collaborate in order to feel that health and that well-being. That doesn't mean that everything is a collaboration with somebody else. What it means is that collaboration is a principle that you can apply, so that you're collaborating with yourself sometimes in order to get the best out of you. You're collaborating with your environment, you're collaborating with your clients, you're collaborating with your community. It's a principle that we can use to guide how we think and therefore how we design and structure our businesses, and that in itself makes a huge difference. The second shift is around our purpose. Now, we are more often than not told in business to adapt ourselves to what the market wants. That's not how nature operates. Everything within nature has a specific role to play. It doesn't adapt itself, it adapts the environment, because it's present. And that's a very important shift to take on board at this particular time, when business itself is in a space of transition, and we need people to be innovating the next stages and phases and dynamics of business. That cannot help if you're adapting. That just simply cannot happen if you are adapting yourself to the market. You need to be shaping the market through your presence and through your specific focus of your work. Now, the third shift is around about our ethos that underpins business. So most of what we are taught to do with our business is around maximizing your return. So it's about increasing your conversion rates and selling more to more people. And that's, and having a very healthy and vital business from a financial point of view is very important. It's one of the key reasons that we start our businesses. But the shift that needs to happen is why you are in business. And often you will have heard, what's your why? But actually there's always multiple layers below the why. And if you follow those far enough, you will discover that there's a real reason why you started your business, and it isn't the surface reason. And that reason is always about enriching the whole. But it doesn't figure in our thinking a lot of the time. But that is something that we can learn from nature, is that when you express to enrich the whole through your work, then you are adding vitality to the overall system. And that is an important thing to bear in mind when you're looking at why you're doing what you're doing in your business and why you're taking a particular approach in your business. And often you may find that the approach that you're taking is one that you have mentally constructed rather than necessarily one that feels right on an energetic level. The fourth shift is giving yourself permission to be bold and really shape the environment through your voice and through your expression. If you look at nature, it is not one thing. It is made out of many different things. Those things are, each of those individual things is fulfilling a particular role in that environment and does not deviate from that. It knows that it is shaping the environment by its presence. You take it out of that environment and the environment itself changes. So everybody is contributing to the overall through their specific and unique individual expression. We need to get really bold with that right now. The final shift that I want to focus on is around the energy of invitation. Plants in particular are very good at this. They extend an invitation to, whether that's butterflies or bees or insects or wasps or whatever it is, to help them in their expression. The energy of invitation is everywhere in nature. What our current thinking tends to do in the way in which we approach our businesses is that we tend to have this expectation of results. And there is a correlation between the effort we put in and the results that we expect. That kind of takes us away from this open invitation. So nature is, there's always a choice in nature. You can choose, or you can choose to do this, or you can choose to do that. You don't have to engage. And that is a huge shift in how you approach communicating about your business, marketing your business, promoting your services and your launches or whatever you're doing. If you have an open energy of invitation, it makes a dramatic difference to the energy with which you use to connect with other people. So those are the 5 shifts. Now I want to talk about 5 principles that you can apply every day in your business to keep it healthy using guidance and wisdom from nature. There are 5 stages to creating a business. There's lots of different activities that happen within that, but there are 5 core stages where you go through when you're putting your business together and you're designing it. The first is the focus of your work. How does your work contribute to overall well-being? So everything that you do is going to be having a specific impact, maybe on an individual or a group of people. But beyond that, it is contributing to overall well-being. Nature is always working as a collective for collective well-being. It knows that the individuals within the community are healthy if the overall community is healthy, and equally, if the individuals are healthy, then the overall community is capable of being healthy. It is a direct correlation and relationship between those two things. So how is your work contributing to the overall well-being? If you can zone in on that aspect of it, you will find that you unlock a deeper level of connection to your work, a deeper commitment to your business, and a more open expression of how you go about it. The second principle to apply is defining your audience by what you can offer. It's very common to adapt what you do to the audience, and therefore you are fitting what you do into their perception, their box, their labeling. That always diminishes your uniqueness. It doesn't allow you to carve out a new pathway in your field of work. It doesn't allow you to stand out. And nature shows us that standing out is a really important aspect of how we develop our presence in the world. But it also, by strictly consistently adhering to who we are and what we are genius at, then the right people can find you, in the way that, you know, an oak will produce a lot of acorns, and then all of the animals that need the acorns are going to show up. Whereas if you took the approach of adapting yourself to the market, the oak might well be creating something completely different. So being very consistent about what are you here to do, what is your unique zone of genius, And how do you put all of the parts of you and your work together to present something that is completely one of a kind? That's how people find you. So you don't define your audience, you don't define your work by your audience, you define your audience by your work. The third principle is really around how do you then take that out to take it out to people and do the work and take the actions that allow people to understand what you're offering. And that is to design services that match your work, match your focus with what your audience is specifically looking for at that point in time. So there is something we can learn about is how people progress. Where are they ready to join your work? When are they ready to be initiated onto your pathway? And what do they need at that precise moment in time? So, for example, flowers are brilliant at this. They produce nectar in order to support the insects that they invite in to do the work that they need them to do. So there is a support system in place, but there's an adaptation as well that allows people to allows the insects to come at the right time. That's what you want to be doing with your promotion and your marketing and your message. You want to be understanding what is the specific thing that they need at that moment in time when they are ready to be initiated onto your pathway. And that then links on to messaging and how you construct your messaging using natural principles. So it is an invitation. A message is always an invitation. It's not an instruction. It's not a directive. It is an invitation. And when you focus on the bigger picture of health, then that is understood not as an isolated problem solving, but as a way of re-entering life on a different plane or in a different way. It is people are very capable of reading that bigger picture, even if it's not something that culturally many, particularly Western societies, are fostering and nurturing at the moment. It is something that you can infuse into your messaging so that people understand how it helps intuitively, not just now, but down the line as well. And the final principle is to create an ecosystem. So you want everybody who comes into your business is part of an ecosystem within your business. Is it a healthy ecosystem or is it an unhealthy ecosystem? The key here is about how do you nourish and nurture the ecosystem of your business. So your ecosystem is going to include your clients, your community, your audience, peers, collaborators. All of those people are part of your ecosystem. And you want to be nurturing the whole ecosystem so that it is healthy and resilient, so that when you have an unexpected twist and turn that you couldn't have possibly managed for, you're in an ecosystem and you have resilience. So there's a huge amount that you can do to nurture and support the whole ecosystem, as opposed to just focusing on the specific programs that you're running, or how many times you email your list. It's about how do you support the whole thing? How do you nurture resilience into your business? And nature shows us that a healthy system is a diverse system. That doesn't mean you have to have an overly complicated business, but it means that the more that you can do to nurture and support everything that is within your business ecosystem, the stronger it will be. So those are the 5 shifts and the 5 principles that you can apply. These are an example of what you can learn from nature. Rewild Your Business is set up to run seasonally. So each season is prepared and produced as it is happening, so that it is everything that the energy of everything is of the moment. The lessons are of the moment, because the energy is constantly shifting. There are no set things to do at set times of the year. It doesn't work like that. Nature is constantly communicating with us, constantly sharing new information and helping us to see things in different ways. And that comes down to how ready we are to receive that. And the more we do it, the more ready we are to receive it. So there's deeper and deeper information coming through. So there's so much that we can learn. And each season that we work through in Rewild Your Business is giving us a different perspective, a different set of skills that we can learn, but also a different area to focus on in our business. So it's very exciting and completely opening us up to a whole new way of doing business. So if you are interested in continuing to learn from nature how to build a thriving and healthy business, please do consider joining.